morning, friends. Welcome to Vlogmas day 23. I woke up this morning with a big old headache, so I had to put a beanie on and go back to sleep. It's now 11:15 and I'm gonna go and make myself some food and some coffee and take some painkillers and then see how we're doing. I look so funny with this all the way down to my eyes. Hey friends, so I just finished having my breakfast. I'm still not feeling very good. My head is like pounding when I move, which obviously isn't great. It's a little bit better than it was before I ate, but I'm just gonna chill here, let my food go down. I've taken some painkillers. I'm gonna have my coffee and catch up. Oh, sorry, it's been. I'm gonna have my coffee and catch up with Morgan Long's Vlogmas because I love Morgan's channel. Morgan Long and Megan Hughes are the two channels who do Vlogmas that I watch every year. They're two of my favourite YouTube channels anyway, but they're the ones of Vlogmas that I religiously watch. Just in case you're interested, especially Megan Hughes. I have been watching Megan for at least 10 years at this point, and it's so cool to see her family evolve and everything that they're doing. It's so cute. So anyway, I'm gonna watch Morgan now and drink my coffee. I just want to show you. So I have this travel cup, right? And I got it in TK Maxx. It wasn't very expensive. And it's this blue travel cup, and it has, you can't see it very well because of this bedroom lighting, but it has this Basquiat painting on it. And yesterday when we were out and about, going to different places, going shopping and stuff, as you saw, I had coffee in that cup twice yesterday, when we went out in the morning and then when we went out again in the afternoon. And I don't drink my hot drinks very quickly. I always end up with them getting cold and me having to put them in the microwave to reheat them because I don't really enjoy them when they've gotten cold, but I can't drink them quickly enough to finish them while they're still warm. So I decided to make my morning coffee in there this morning because it will actually stay hot. And I won't have to use the microwave. And it's colder in this house, so the drinks get colder quicker. Anyway, that was a spiel. I'm gonna chill now and watch some YouTube.
2 hours later.
Hey friends, it's quite a while later now. I've just spent the last couple of hours really trying to rest and hydrate and feel better. I decided to have a quick sit and chat with you about the things that I purchased yesterday from when we went shopping. So if you would like to, oh, there's a fly. Pause the video now and go grab yourself a nice hot drink and let's get into it. Cheers. So the first things that I purchased were 2 of these candle sets, and they come with 3 candle holders at the bottom. So I got this blue set and this green set because I love candlesticks. They just create such a good ambience, especially at this time of year. And I loved that they came with these cute little star candle holders. So apart from those, the rest of the things that I bought yesterday were all toiletries and skincare and stuff. So there is this shop in France and it's called Noz, and it's the weirdest shop ever. I did show a couple of clips of it in yesterday's little vlog, but basically it's like a warehouse where they sell loads of random things. But the last couple of times I've been over the last year or so, they have had loads, or not loads, but they've had quite a good selection really randomly of good quality organic skincare stuff. I really prefer to use organic stuff on my skin, And France and basically mainland Europe, but really France, has a lot more options in their normal shops and normal supermarkets of organic stuff than you can get in England. Like in England, you would go to Holland and Barrett and you would pay £13 for an organic moisturiser. But here you can get organic stuff in Lidl, you can get it in random shops like NOS. And something else that I wanted to tell you about or share with you is that I use this app, and my lovely friends in Barcelona recommended this app to me, and it's called Yucca. So the little logo for it looks like this, a little carrot. And what the Yucca app does is it scans the barcodes of food items and toiletries and skincare items and can tell you a breakdown of the ingredients and how healthy that product is, and it gives it a score out of 100. So as you can see, these are all of the things I scanned yesterday, and so it colour codes them. Red is bad, green is good, yellow is poor, and it gives it a score out of 100. So all of these things that I found in NOS yesterday, I was making decisions about what I wanted to purchase based on how they scored on Yucca, because the better they score, I know that I can trust that the better they are for me. So let's get into it. I'm really excited. Oh, and just to say too, the reason why I got a bunch of things yesterday is because it's so much cheaper to buy organic stuff in this country and stock up for me than it is to buy organic stuff in England. So that was my task yesterday. So firstly, I am trying to take care of my skin better because it's just come into my awareness a little bit more in the last while, especially this winter, that your skin is an organ, right? It's one of your organs of your body. So looking after it is just as important as like eating healthily and looking after your digestion and stuff. It's just another organ. And I'm so aware that in the wintertime, in the cold, my skin suffers. So one of the things that I purchased, and I'm going to tell you the prices of all of these things because it's just so good, it's such a steal. This was €1.99, so that's like £1.50 sterling-ish. So it's this Nala body salt scrub, and it says it's fruit cocktail flavour, which usually I wouldn't go for. I'm not so much of a fruity skincare bathroom product person, but I scanned this. I'm going to tell you what it scored. It got a green for good, and it got 72 out of 100, which for a skincare product is really good. So in the winter time, I definitely get really dry skin, and I've noticed as I get older that is exacerbating in the winter times, especially arms and legs. So this is going to be my new addition to my shower routine. The next thing I got is these two shower gels. One is pomegranate flavour and the other scent, and the other is passion fruit. And again, I wouldn't usually go for the fruity things, but I think they smell kind of nice. Yeah, they smell good. These were also €1.99 each. Obviously also organic, and they scored, oh, and they both also say that they're vegan and cruelty free. Can you believe, like, I'm just thinking about this, €1.99, €1.99 for an organic, vegan, cruelty free body wash. It just blows my mind. So these both scored green for good. The pomegranate one scored 72. Oh, the lighting is changing a little bit. Maybe I'll try and hurry up. And the passion fruit one also scored 72 for good, but I will tell you that there was another flavour, and it was lemon, I think. Yes, it was lemon. I'm like looking at my scanner, you can see here the yellow version of what I've just showed you, and it only scored 58. So I didn't choose that one, I chose the other two because they scored higher. The next thing I got, and the packaging on these is a little bit messed up, like I can see that there's some makeup that's rubbed off on them, but I don't really care about that because I'm going to be opening the boxes anyway. I got these 2 shampoo bars because for my dreads I prefer to use shampoo bars rather than liquid shampoo. These were also $1.99 each, and they're both the same. I bought 2 of them just to stock up. Again, plant-based vegan. This one doesn't actually say organic, which I didn't notice yesterday, but there is no plastic in this packaging. It is plant-based and vegan, and it was $1.99. I'm gonna open this actually and just see what it looks like. Oh, it looks really nice. It has a little string, a little cotton hoop attached, which is great. I'm going to be able to keep this in my little Lush tin. It smells good as well. The scent smells not very artificial. It smells really natural. So it's the Daily Concepts shampoo bar, and this scored very green for excellent, which is so rare for a bathroom product, and it got 93 out of 100. So I will say as well, like, the things that come into this scoring system on Yucca are things like artificial ingredients, harmful like silicons and sulfates, and whether something has parabens in it. Lots of different things like that that affect how good something is for you. So I can't believe this scored 93 out of 100. That's incredible. That's probably why I picked up 2. The next thing that I got, which I believe I went on Google Translate and took a picture of this to translate it because I didn't understand what it was. Oh, I could have just looked on the side. It says it in English. So this is, oh, and it says it on the back as well in English. So this is a natural organic moisturiser slash like day cream. This was only €1.19. So that's probably less than £1 in England. Just baffles me. You'd pay like $7.99 in Holland & Barrett for this at least. It's also really pretty packaging. Even on the inside it has like this floral design. So pretty. So when I scanned this on Yucca, it got green for good and 72 out of 100. A lot of these are getting 72. I wonder if it's because they have similar ingredients. That's interesting. And there were a few other things that I scanned and decided not to buy. Things like a natural toothpaste that the packaging is marketed to look super duper natural. It says natural toothpaste, coconut and salt, eco-friendly, and I think it says socially responsible. It's a really pixelated image, but it came out with a score of only 47, so I didn't buy that. And other things that scored not very well. But the last thing I purchased, oh my gosh, this got 100 out of 100. Never in my life have I seen that. So it's another moisturiser, and it's this organic French one. And this is actually the one I remember now that I had to scan on Google Translate because I didn't understand from the front of the packaging what this was meant to be used for. But it does also say the English on the side. I probably just didn't notice that. So it says it's for dry to very dry skin, which mine is dry in the wintertime definitely. Tested on sensitive skin, 100% natural origin. It says it contains avocado oil, used morning and evening after cleansing on the face and neck for an intense nourishing effect and optimal comfort. Let's have a looky inside. It annoys me when they do this, when they make the packaging bigger to make it look like it's a bigger product. Annoying. But this was only, oh, it doesn't actually have a sticker, so I'm not sure how much it was, but I'm assuming it was in the $1.99 range. It wouldn't have been much more than that from this shop, but it's, yeah, quite small. But again, another bargain, another very good product. And yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what it smells like. It smells good. It just smells, again, like the shampoo bars, very natural. Okay, and that is my haul for you all. I would definitely say that my trip to Noz was a success yesterday. I'm pretty chuffed with the loot that I'm taking back to England with me. I'm feeling a little bit better from my intense headache this morning, so I think what I'm gonna do is go outside for a walk, get some fresh air, get my body moving a little bit, because I think that will help me move this headache through. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So let's go for a walk. friends, so we are out and about on our walk now. It's just started to rain, so there might be a couple of raindrops on my lens, like right here. But it's just a drizzle. It's really nice outside today. It's again not as cold as it has been in previous winters here, so it's really enjoyable still. I definitely feel better for being outside, so maybe you'd just like to take this opportunity to breathe with me for a moment. So let's breathe in this fresh air. Breathe in and out. And in and out. I love to do those sighing out breaths. Thank you for breathing with me. I think what I'd really like to do for the next little while after getting back is just to do a couple of things that are going to make me feel better today, or help me to feel better, because I realised this morning, having a really bad headache, that I was quite overwhelmed. And I think for me and for my autistic neurology, I often don't realise that I've been overwhelmed from a couple of days previously or from yesterday until other physical symptoms hit me, like this headache this morning. And because it takes my nervous system a while to process things, and I realised this morning, or I pondered this morning, about whether my travel day, which was quite stressful, like thinking that I was going to miss my connection and stuff and having to run through Geneva airport. I didn't film very much of the stressful bit because obviously I was stressing, but yeah, that was quite stressful. And then yesterday was a busy day for me socially, so today I need and have really needed a really slow day and just a really nurturing, restful day. Tomorrow is also going to be quite busy for me socially, so I'm bearing that in mind too, in giving myself a bit more of a slow day. Oh buddy, don't run in that puddle. Oh god, he's gonna be so muddy when we get back. So yeah, join me for my next few hours of peaceful ease and nurturing. So on reflection, friends, I think that I'm deciding not to film tomorrow, and I think I'm going to let this be the last day of Vlogmas 2023, December 23rd. That feels kind of poignant and significant anyway, that it's the 23rd in 2023, but mainly because I am feeling quite overwhelmed, and most of the fun things that I'm going to be doing tomorrow are with other people that I'm not really that comfortable filming with, filming around and filming them. So I don't think tomorrow's video would be very interesting anyway. And I know that my natural inclination is to want to push through and to make a video anyway, despite all these things, when really that's not what's best for me. So that is my new revised plan. I hope you'll enjoy joining me for the rest of this last day of Vlogmas. Let's go make some tea and sit outside in the cold, but very cozy, reading a book. friends, so I've just been listening to A Christmas Carol, as you saw, and it's so lovely to listen to it. I have read it before, but a long time ago, and if you have an Audible account, it's one of the ones that is free, just with a normal Audible account. So yeah, it's really good so far. This one is performed by Hugh Grant, and yeah, it's very entertaining so far. I must say as well, it's a really short one to listen to, so if you're looking for something nice and Christmassy and festive to listen to, it's less than 3 hours to listen to. Also, it's been so lovely to sit outside. I know the natural inclination at this time of year is absolutely not to sit outside, but I'm so bundled up and warm, especially after having been on a walk. And it's really nice to be enjoying the fresh air.
Later.
Hey friends, so I just showered, as you can tell. I've been wanting to wash my hair for actually a couple of days, but when I originally wanted to wash my hair, the hot water had been off for days, and so it would have been freezing cold. So I've left it turned on for a while and then been able to have my shower today. So that's great. I'm feeling refreshed, I'm feeling nourished, and the next thing that I really wanted to do today before I end off today's vlog and Vlogmas for 2023 is to go through this box that I have left here in this house that has some of my belongings in it, and it is half filled with books. So I have boxes and boxes and boxes of books in the barn storage, which is more difficult for me to get to. This box was in the actual house, so it's one of my more accessible boxes of belongings, and I've been itching since I arrived to see what books are in here, because I think I only remember 2 of the books that are definitely in this box. So let's see what we've got. Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna put my socks on because my feet are getting a bit chilly now. Oh, I didn't realise those were in here. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So firstly, laying on the top of this, I'm definitely gonna end up showing you a few things that aren't books, by the way, is this big envelope. Now this, I believe, is my graduation photo. It is. Here they are. Oh my gosh. Do I look the same? Let me know in the comments if you think I look the same. This was 2015. So 8 years ago. Wow. Anyway, that's my graduation photo for you. If you're interested, I graduated with a bachelor's degree with honours in music theatre. I just want to show you what the bird's eye view of this box looks like. This is the view. So the first thing that I want to show you that I love to reminisce about is my point shoes. Oh my god, these even have a coffee stain on them. They are so dead, but these were my first pair of point shoes. I believe there's another pair in here, but these were my first pair of point shoes. Let's see how dead they are. By the way, if you don't know what I mean by my point shoes being dead, basically point shoes are made from loads and loads of layers of kind of like paper mache. They're not wooden blocks like a lot of people think they are. They're layers and layers and layers and layers of fabric that results in this really hard shoe. But when you dance on them over and over and over again, obviously they get worn down, and the shank, which is this part here that kind of supports your foot, gets like, actually they're not as dead as I thought they were, gets more and more worn to the point where it will just be completely, they're really not as dead as I thought they were. I could probably still dance on these, but I wouldn't be able to because my ankles are not strong anymore. Anyway, these are my point shoes. They're so dirty. And then I think I have a second pair in here, but I'm not gonna go into the ballet bag. That would just be too long of an endeavour. These are actually such pretty shoes. Anyway, those were the days. I danced ballet and tap, just in case you're interested, from the ages of 3 or 4 to around 18. I stopped actively having lessons when I went to university, so yeah, It was a big part of my childhood and teenage years. This is so random. I have a journal in here. I have some tarot cards in here. I have a couple of bags in here. I might actually bring my burgundy cancan home with me. Not yet sure. I'll make some of these decisions like after Christmas and stuff like that. I don't want to think too much about it at this point. Yeah, let's get into the books. It's time. So firstly, we have a first edition copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that I purchased from a shop in Cork, Ireland called Vibes and Scribes. It's a really cool shop. I think there's 2 of them in Cork actually. And this was €5. And I also don't think I didn't, there's a bookmark in here. I didn't finish reading it when I was reading it at the time. The last time I was reading this, I mean. And my bookmark is a bookmark from the Owl Story English bookshop in Lagos, Portugal, which I also mentioned in an earlier Vlogmas episode where I shared a book haul with you because I'd recently been back to Portugal and purchased a book from this shop. So yeah, that's awesome. This is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban Spanish version because I was using it to study Spanish when I was studying Spanish. It has lots of like annotations and stuff of when I was learning what different words meant and everything. Yep, more Harry Potter. I actually remember when I purchased that and I was in Ecuador, I believe. That's why it's in Spanish, because they speak Spanish in Ecuador. And yeah, I was really wanting to improve my Spanish. It improved a lot while I was in Spanish speaking countries like that. And it's still, as you know, if you watched my Get to Know Me video that I did for Vlogmas, another Vlogmas video early on, being fluent in conversational Spanish is one of my bucket list items. So we have a bunch of things in here and I'm just going to pick out the ones that are standing out to me that I think I'm going to want to take home. These are the 2 books that I remembered that were in here, that I knew were in here and that I do think I'm going to take home with me even though I've read them before. So this is The Binding by Bridget Collins and The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. These 2 books are obviously stunning and I absolutely was obsessed with them as I was reading them, especially The Binding. Even to the point where I read a paperback copy and I was so in love with it that I wanted a hardback copy, so I purchased this one. And then when I found out that she had also written The Betrayals, I bought a hardback copy because look at that, it's so beautiful. So I think I might do a reread of these. This copy of The Binding was actually originally a library book. I don't know what library from though, but I must have purchased it on eBay or something. They're just stunning books. If you are a fantasy reader, please read some Bridget Collins. Incredible. We then have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, I don't actually think I'll end up taking this home because I have recently, like in the last year or so maybe, done a reread of this. So I probably won't read it again, but look how tabbed it is. This is so good. If you haven't read this, please read it. Another one that's standing out to me is Howard's End by E.M. Forster. I loved this as a late teen / young adult. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't actually remember that much of it, but it is battered because I read it so much. I honestly, like, it's genuinely coming apart at the seams. Pages are just coming out in my hand. I don't know why it's like this. I think I read it on holidays as well, and you know, like when you're on holiday and you're reading a book and the glue that's holding the pages together starts to melt because you're reading in the sun. I think that probably happened with this as well. I can tell that there's been splashes of water on here because some of the pages are crinkly. I definitely want to do a reread of this at some point, but I'm not feeling drawn to do that this time round. Now, this, Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett. I am going to take this home and I am going to read it. I really think I would love the entire Discworld series. I've heard so much about it. I have heard it being recommended as like, if you want to stop reading J.K. Rowling, start reading Terry Pratchett. So that's what I've heard, and I purchased this over a year ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, and I started it. I think I was doing that thing where I read the first few pages of a number of books and then chose what to read. And at that time it wasn't this one, so I'm gonna take this home. Ooh, I also have here The Dante Club by Matthew Pearl. Now this is one of those books that is like so satisfyingly floppy. I love that. And when I got back from traveling and I was back in a country that sold English books, I bought a few books and this was one of them in that moment, I remember. And it sounded really interesting at the time. You know what, I think I realise now what turned me off reading it. The font is really small, so that does put me off a little bit. I'm not one for a small font, but I do think I'm going to enjoy this. The blurb says, Boston, 1865. A series of murders, all of them inspired by scenes in Dante's Inferno. Only an elite group of America's first Dante scholars, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Oliver Wendell Holmes, James Russell Lowell and J.T. Fields, can solve the mystery. With the police baffled, more lives endangered, and Dante's literary future at stake, the Dante Club must shed its sheltered literary existence and find the killer. It sounds dark but also fun, like a bit mystery-ish. I also think I looked this up at the time and remembered it being described or categorised as dark academia, and I love that vibe, so I think I'm going to take this home too. Next I also have here If Not Winter, Fragments of Sappho by Anne Carson, translated by Anne Carson. This is a little bit thick looking, but it's not, because each page is a fragment of Sappho on the left-hand page and then Anne Carson's translation on the right-hand page. I have read this before, another one that is satisfyingly floppy, but I might reread it while I'm here actually, because obviously it won't take that long to read. Anne Carson is an essayist and translator that I really enjoy, so I might do a reread of this, but I won't be taking it home with me. And then lastly, one that I definitely want to take home with me is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. So I received this exact copy as a birthday present from my great-grandparents when they were still alive in 2006, it says in the front. I loved it at the time, and ironically nobody knew, and neither did I, that I was autistic, and this is about an autistic boy. So I have read this before, but I'd really like to do a reread. I've never done a reread before, and I really associate this book with the fact that I received it from my great-grandparents, who I loved so much. And yeah, I've never done a reread, so I'd be really interested now at this point in my life, like 17 years later, to do a reread and see what I think of this book. There's an excerpt at the beginning and I'd just like to read it to you. It says, on my way to school, I watch the cars going past the bus and remember their colours. 3 red cars in a row mean that it's going to be a quite good day. 4 red cars mean that it's going to be a good day. 5 red cars mean that it's going to be a super good day. And 4 yellow cars in a row mean that it's going to be a black day, which is a day when I don't speak to anyone and don't eat my lunch and take no risks, because yellow is the colour of custard and double yellow lines and yellow fever, which is a deadly disease. But if I see 3 red cars in a row, or 4 red cars in a row, or 5 red cars in a row, then I feel safe and it is a day for a project. Yeah, super intrigued to reread this. Oh, and I missed this in the box. This is Recollections of My Non-Existence by Rebecca Solnit. I think Rebecca Solnit is an absolute genius, but I never finished this book. I purchased this years ago when it came out, I believe, or recently after it came out. When was this published? 2020, yeah, that makes sense. My bookmark is in page 42, so I read the first 42 pages and must have got distracted by another book or something and never finished it. But I really want to finish this. It is her kind of story of when she was a young artist. The inside cover says, an electric portrait of the artist as a young woman that asks how a writer finds her voice in a society that prefers women to be silent. And I just think she's an absolutely genius writer and thinker. If you've never read any Rebecca Solnit, or even just go on YouTube and type Rebecca Solnit and watch some of her interviews, and not speeches, but like speaking engagements and stuff, because she is so clever. So yeah, I'm gonna take that home too. Okay, so we've obtained 6 books to take home, and I haven't even been into my other boxes yet, so it's a good start. I'm gonna move over to the window and talk to you a little bit more.
12 seconds later.
So, I've taken my hair out of my towel now. Wow, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for joining me for Vlogmas 2023. This has been such a huge learning curve for me and such a fun experience and so exciting and nourishing and a lot of work, and it's taught me a lot about not only about making videos and about editing and about angles and about my camera and about editing software and all of that stuff, but also about myself and how I work and how I operate and what works for me and what doesn't work for me in the context of creating. And I am so grateful for that. Even if it's only a couple of people watching per video, it's been really significant for me to participate in Vlogmas and to be putting effort and energy into making these videos and sharing myself with you and sharing the highs and lows of life for me with you. So thank you for being here. I also just wanted to touch on something that I have been pondering about, and that is Christmas time and the loneliness that I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing at this time of year. And I wanted to just share that in my life currently I am going through kind of a scary transitional period, and it's very overwhelming and it's been a challenging time, and it's tested me and still is, and things are very uncertain and unsure and up in the air, and I find that extremely challenging. And so this period of time has been an extremely challenging period of time for me. But I have this intrinsic internal belief that this is not going to last and things will change, because things change all the time. That is the only certain thing that we have. And so if you are also someone who is going through a really challenging period of time right now, or if you are someone who isn't where they would usually be at Christmas time or isn't able to spend Christmas time with any friends or family members, I wanted to share that because circumstances will change, and don't forget to hold space for the fact that the you that exists this time next year might be in a completely different situation. Probably will be in a completely different situation if you're dealing with anything similarly to me, where you're in a transitional period of life. Imagine you next year, this time next year, and think about how much more settled you might be, or how much more surrounded by loved ones you might be, or how much more comfortable in your own skin you might be, or any of these things. Just basically to say that the challenges you're experiencing right now might be completely and utterly improved and different by Christmas of 2024. I can't believe I'm ending off a Vlogmas. I'm genuinely so proud of myself for going for this and for participating and for sharing basically every day of December until now. Thank you for being here. I am wishing you such a beautiful Christmas and a happy New Year. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because I will see you very soon with more videos. Okay, solstice blessings for yesterday. Happy Christmas or festive season, and Happy New Year. Bye friends.